A free, lovely woman. Her passion for transcribing, perfecting, correcting, and writing, and a love for architecture that shaped the way she experienced life. On July 16, 1990, Ángel González Ramos murdered Liliana Rivera Garza when she finally decided to break free from him for good. He was never punished. He ran away and lived a long life until his presumed death in 2020. Liliana's Invincible Summer by Cristina Rivera Garza won the Pulitzer this year in the memoir category. Cristina and every one of us who read the book consider this book was written by her and her late sister. That's because a huge portion of this book consists of Liliana's notes, letters, messages she wrote to her friends, her family, her lovers, and to herself. The experience of reading this book is very unique. It makes you feel like you're in the present and in the past, all at the same time. The experimenting Liliana did with her words is delightful. She could be funny. You might wonder why your ugly little cousin named Lilianita writes on a typewriter. And the answer is that my handwriting, with 3 E's, has gone sloppy. I don't type very well either, but please take into account that I'm lying on my bed with a typewriter on my belly while watching TV. Do you know something? I'm tired. Better say, I got tired. That means I'm going to rest. And indeed, I say. And I can't rest if I'm writing. That's why I'm going to stop writing. And that means goodbye, Lilianita, Minnie myself. I looked for a pen, just in case not to bother the chicken's pen. I'll say ballpoint pen. And I started to write. Oh, and that's it. No more, no less. And here I am. And the end of the chronicle of how Lilianita writes a letter to Adrian, Leonce, Valencia, Francisco, Pancho, Paco, etc. Esta Lilianita's letter to Adrian. Hello, just the greeting. The text of the letter in itself, or out of itself, it is the same. I love you very much, and I will always beat you. The end of the letter in itself and not of itself. Bye. Crocodile tears. Well, yes, indeed for you. You really bought it, smack you. In Mexico, we say crocodile tears to express that someone is fake crying. The fact is that this, your gentle servant, is one thing some days and something else other days. Do you get it? And I do not call it fickleness, which will be an equally terrifying defect, but relativity, which comes naturally to thinking beings, or at least a being that tries to think. As always, it's a matter of approaches, thinking positively. Okay? She could be insanely creative. For example, I really loved this letter that she wrote to her cousin backwards. May 21st, 1987. Lady. Things should appear in order, but this time I say that things should be a mess. So, goodbye, greetings to all, Liliana. I was looking at some photos from what feels like 2 centuries ago, and I immediately thought of writing to you. We were so very young, younger, and since I want to avoid overeating, I set out to do something that will keep me busy, at least for 10 minutes. We have grown up, and that has me in awe. Do you feel how you grew up? Except for my period and the development of my innocent little body from where I was 6 or 7 or 13 years old. I have no other proof of the changes I have undergone. Darn! When are you visiting, huh? How are you doing in your high school? You're enrolled in the concentration in humanities, as far as I know. I mean physics, mathematics, or its equivalent, which I understand it will be exact sciences over there, or something like that. I'm taking very interesting classes, geometry, drawing, calculus, physics, and all those things that I really enjoy. Have you changed, Letty? Do you think in a different way now? You think that I am traumatized by the idea of change, but it seems that it has just dawned on me. How are you? Hi, how's it going? I am fine, but with lots of work. You know, things have happened. I do not know if it's a lot of things or just a few, but they are momentous. Anyway, they set the tone for the search of another person in oneself. I didn't think that there would be situations that spoil what one has thought for years, but it seems that there are. You know what I mean? Exactly. That's what it's about. This is just a little note from someone who loves you very much, and not just because we are cousins, and not even because of chance, simply because it is you. Answer me, please, Liliana. She was also the sweetest person ever. I think endearing like will describe her perfectly. What could we possibly fear? Wherever you decide to go, my support will follow you. As long as you don't give up, because there is no responsibility more sacred and atrocious than that which forces us to be truly ourselves. With love, Liliana. P.S. I forgot. Happy birthday! Dear Anna, dearest Anna, beloved Anna, Anna. What sounds better to you? Anna, anyway. Anna, again, says it is mentioned in the book by her sister and by everybody who knew her. What a great intellectual she was. She read the newspaper every day, was obsessed with Agatha Christie's novels, and transcribed the poetry she fancied in her notes. That shows pretty much in her own writing. I know there is more than these four walls and this sky, annoyingly blue. Let's count the suns that did not come out, the things that destroyed what is full today. Let's count infinity, the hands that did not touch us, the voids that we never feel. Let's make these November afternoons accountable, the many solitudes that surround us, ours and the absent ones. What do I do now? Count the moments that didn't happen, the excluded loves, the shyest proximities, the many no's. All that supplements what exists and is this cubic, geometric, black and white landscape. Count the air that is not here, the clouds that went missing. Count the actions susceptible to observation, the distances, your absence so many times confirmed. Let's count it. Now there are droplets coming out of the eyes, shallow clouds, this anguishing sweat. I don't want to count them. Not that way. They fill me with the present, so resoundingly, so forever. I am now, thus, part of your universe. Let's count the things that are absent. Count me among them. Be my guest. And of course, she let out her sorrows. I'm the girl standing on sadness. I'm the one turned into apple cake. And yet, how I wish we were no longer fairies in a land of ice. So much need for company. Liliana was very fond of a phrase by Albert Camus. She used this phrase to comfort her friend. This one was taken by Cristina Rivera Garza to title this book. It's not worth it, she said. She handed me a piece of paper. In the midst of winter, I found there was, within me, an invincible summer. This is your winter, she added, and it will pass. Don't cry for anyone. Throughout the book, Liliana Rivera Garza comes out of the photographs and becomes an actual person with the collective help of those who knew her. In many articles I read, her sister mentions her powerful belief in writing being a collective team effort. Thanks to this way of honoring her life, we get the full scope of Liliana's personality. Even though this book does its best to bring Liliana fully to us, as mentioned before, you feel like you knew her, like you are this omniscient being by her side. it still leaves questions unanswered. How did she sound like? What was the tone of her laugh? I'm sure she would have enjoyed the technologies that we have today. I'm sure she will have a movie review YouTube channel. Nowadays, she will have loved social media. Even if her dreams of studying a master's degree in England and visiting Italy with her sister weren't achieved, her words travel now by her side and her sister's. Whatever the accomplices of Angel Gonzalez Ramos are, the ones who helped him escape, and the ones who concealed his whereabouts, I hope Liliana's face chases them. If they stop by the supermarket, by the library, by a coffee shop, I really hope for this book to become a reading literature the teachers implement in high school and college, that the children of these accomplices take the book with them at home for homework, to write their essays and dissertations. Make them inescapable to avoid Liliana's presence in their own home.